Hello and welcome to our family Easter experience. We hope you had a great time doing the Easter story trail, whether you did it at St Mary's Churchyard or up at Hope Church car park. We hope you managed to find the answer that it was John 3:16. And that's a Bible verse that you can look up, John 3:16. And we're going to sing a song about that a bit later on. But first, we're going to hear the Easter story. So listen in and learn all about the Easter story. Easter is a time of daffodils and hot cross buns and spring lambs and chocolate eggs, and when we all remember how the Easter lamb laid a chocolate egg that was hidden in a tomb and then stolen, but then what happened? None of that happened. None of it, except in your head. So what is Easter about? Well, I'm glad you asked. Easter is the story of how Jesus lives. Oh, well, I thought Jesus died. He did, but now he lives. If you only remember one thing about this story, and even that seems optimistic, remember that Jesus lives. We're going to see what really happened. This story is in all four Gospels. Oh, I know these are Matthew, John, Paul, Ringo, Frodo and Hermione. No, Matthew, Mark, Luke and John. But we're going to follow Luke's account. So we're in Jerusalem, a city on the edge of the Roman Empire. And lots of people weren't happy about that. It's about 36 AD. Just about tea time, which is also known as the Last Supper.
I feared the worst. When 13 blokes book the party room, it's normally pretty grim in there afterwards, especially when they order lots of wine. Although apparently this Jesus can make his own, fancy that, loads of it. And bread. Don't ask me how. 5,000 people he fed. My husband Isaac can barely make a pitta when he has all the ingredients in front of him. Anyway, it was a very quiet evening in the end, and I wasn't really listening at the door, but it didn't sound like much of a party, which is a bit weird. I mean, it's Passover. I know it's all about the wine these days, but it's meant to be a celebration, isn't it? My mum, just come and get this rest. Hurry up, they'll be wanting it. My mum used to tell me the Passover story when I was little about how our people, the Israelites, were slaves in Egypt, but God rescued us and brought us out into the desert where he fed us with bread. And guess what? It would be lying there on the ground in the morning. Imagine that. So, if you're stuck somewhere where you don't want to be, forced to be indoors when there's a plate passing over, a bit like now, remember, there's always hope. I had hope for Jesus. Or I did. I thought he'd rescue us from those Romans, but he's got a funny way of going about it. While I was clearing some of the plates at the end, Jesus took some bread and some wine and said to eat and drink these in remembrance of him, as if he was going to die. Isn't he a miracle worker who can raise people from the dead? I don't know what his game is. Anyway, we need to get this room cleared. Come on, get those tables wiped. We've got a dozen tax collectors coming in a few minutes. All sorts of business things going on here. We've just got to get this ready. Come on, hurry up.
When Jesus left the upper room, he went into a garden and he met the Easter bunny. No, Luke does not say that. They did an Easter egg hunt. No, Jesus was arrested by people from the temple and a mob with swords and clubs. But why? Jesus went around healing people and being generally kind and brilliant. They were really angry that Jesus was claiming to be God. They wanted to have him executed, but they needed the Romans for that. Well, that's awful. So they took him to Pontius Pilate, the Roman governor. He couldn't find anything wrong with Jesus and said he could be released. Yay! But Jesus' enemies whipped up the crowd and they demanded that he crucify Jesus and release a man named Barabbas instead. Wow, lucky old Barabbas.
I've really done it this time. I led a rebellion against the Romans. I may have murdered 1 or 2 people, but on any day now, they're going to come to my cell to lead me out to crucify me. Oh, you know, I've tried everything. Bribing the guard, threatening the witnesses, blackmailing the judge. None of that worked. Nor did the jailbreak. Now, here's a tip. If you're going to hide a big metal file in a loaf of bread, make sure it's a baguette. It's the right shape. My sister tried to hide it in some crusty buns. Well, you can imagine how that went. And the guards ate the buns. Those were my buns.
Shut up!
But don't I get a final meal? A last request?
No, you've been a very naughty boy and you're going down.
Ah, there's no rescue for me. Not a chance.
All right, Barabbas? Pilate's changed his mind. Jesus is going to die. You're going to live. You're free to go.
What? Jesus dies and I live? Wow, who'd have thought that? Someone as rotten as me goes free?
Doesn't seem right to me either, but that's the way it is.
Yeah, well, didn't I say when I was locked up in here, there's always hope?
No, you said, please don't lock me up. Here's 50 denarii. Treat yourself.
Oh, well, I may have said that. Well, it's a beautiful day. Let's go.
Barabbas must have been one happy bunny. Please stop talking about bunnies. We need to talk about what happened to Jesus next. He was being taken to a place called the Skull. The Skull. Well, what happened there? Well, put it this way. It wasn't an ice cream parlour. Imagine an ice cream parlour called the Skull. 0 customers. This is the place Jesus was executed. He was nailed to a big wooden cross and left to die with 2 other criminals. Oh, I can't wait to hear how Jesus got out of this one. He didn't. Jesus died. Oh, but, and there was a centurion there to make sure it was all done properly. That's not a very nice job to have.
Well, that was the weirdest day at work I've ever had. Normally there are 2 types of people there, the mumblers and the screamers. The mumblers have given up hope because, let's face it, there's no hope on a cross. But the screamers, they're in denial. Shouting, yelling at everyone and everything. We had a screamer today, you know, yelling at me and this Jesus bloke. Now, I have no idea why Jesus was being crucified. He didn't seem the type. He was a mumbler. And you know what he said when he was up there on the cross? Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. Well, I do know what I'm doing. My job. But it was a pretty weird thing to say all the same. Anyway, this screamer criminal, he goes nuts and screams, "Aren't you supposed to be the king from God? Save yourself and us while you're at it." Well, then this other criminal jumps in. Not literally, because obviously, you know, anyway, he's not a screamer. He's a dreamer. He says, "Don't you fear God? We're getting what we deserve." But this man, he's done nothing wrong. And then, and I'll never forget this, he says to Jesus, "Remember me when you come into your kingdom." Dream on, dreamer. Jesus is on a cross. No hope. But then he says to the dreamer, "Today you will be with me in paradise." What's that all about? Jesus can't help anyone from where he is. And then he dies. So that's the end of that. Weirdest day at work ever. Anyway, it reminds me of my dad's stories from 30 years ago when he was in Bethlehem. Anyway, dinner time. I'm starving. I've had nothing since morning. Just a stale crusty loaf. I'm going to find some food. Well, where is it?
What a sad story. Anyway, happy Easter everyone. Wait, that's not the end. There's a serious twist you do not want to miss.
Oh, there's a bunny after all!
No, there is no bunny in this story. Anyway, back to our story in Luke's Gospel. A man called Joseph of Arimathea took Jesus' body down and laid it in a tomb. Right, that doesn't seem like an improvement. This is more death. You just wait.
Sorry, so tired. Running to Jerusalem because...
We saw him! We saw him! Jesus lives! It really was him! And...
Let's back up. We were on the road to Emmaus talking about what had happened, and we met this guy who asked us what we were chatting about, and we were like, duh, we're talking about Jesus. Where have you been?
Turns out, it was Jesus.
Wait, don't spoil it.
Sorry.
That's the best bit. So we started telling this guy all about how Jesus did amazing things and how we hoped he'd rescue us from the Romans. But the temple priest killed him on Friday. Then, Sunday morning, some of the women went to the tomb.
And Jesus was gone!
Unbelievable. Anyway, where had he gone? We were sad and confused.
And this dude we met on the road, explained how this whole thing had been planned by God, and how it's there all the way through the Bible, right from the beginning.
And he told us how it's not rescue from the Romans we need, but rescue from sin and death, and how we can be with God forever.
Hearts on fire! Minds blown! Mic drop!
Anyway, so we stopped off for a bite with this guy, and the moment he broke the bread, we realised it was actually Jesus.
There he was, alive!
All our hopes and dreams was there eating bread with us. And then...
boom! Gone! He just disappeared. Can you believe it?
Amazing. Can you believe him?
I'm sorry. It's just such a brilliant story. And it means Jesus lives. There is hope. He can rescue us after all. So we're running back to Jerusalem to tell the others. Come on!
So this means Jesus is alive now? Yep, this story is about Jesus and is written in Luke's Gospel. A history of Jesus' life and death and life again. You can read it for yourself. Well, I might just do that with some chocolate. Good idea. Can I have some? No? Oh, all right then. Let's go and find some. Great. And everyone else, why don't you pause the video now and think about the questions that are going to come on the screen all about the Easter story. Wow, wasn't that an amazing story? And we hope that those questions helped you to think about it a little bit more. Now, hopefully you've got your activity bag ready and waiting. And there are 4 things in there for you to explore. So we're going to have a look at some instructions on what you can do with the different things in your activity bag. Enjoy! Step 1. Crumble up your shredded wheat. Step 2. Ask an adult to help you to melt the chocolate either on the hob or in the microwave. Pour your melted chocolate into your shredded wheat and mix it all together. Put your shredded wheat mix into some cake cases. Add your mini eggs on the top and leave to set. Then enjoy eating them. So here's how to make your Easter garden. You should have everything in your bag ready to make it. So some cress seeds, a pot, some sticks and string to make a cross, some stones, some soil, some flowers and a piece of cloth. So first things first is you need your soil. And you either want to put it straight into your tray if you're making it outside, or you might want to put something at the bottom of your tray if you're making it inside. Once you've got some soil in, you want to add your pot, tuck it in. You might want to put some more soil over the top. Once you've done that, you want to get your small stones and kind of make a path. Then you can put your piece of cloth inside your tomb and add any flowers you've got, some flowers. And you might want to plant some cress seeds so that they grow eventually. And you'll need to water them. Now we're going to make our cross. So you're going to tie your two sticks together to make a cross. Now you're going to stick your cross in. And then the last thing you can do is you can find a really big stone and you can pop it either over the tomb or you can pop it next to the tomb. And there's your Resurrection Easter garden.
So today we're going to make a cheeky chick, aren't we, Evie? Do you like the cheeky chick? So we're going to open our envelope and inside there should be a cardboard shaped egg. And there should be 2 eyes. You might have to look carefully because they might be hiding in the envelope. There should be some wool and a red beak, a pipe cleaner and 2 feathers. So, to make your cheeky chick, and what are we going to call him? Charlie. Should we call it as an eye? Yes. So we're going to get the cardboard and you might need to snip a few little tiny notches round the edge. Okay, or get an adult to help you do that. Then you get your wool and it should be in a nice little ball, and then this is the fun bit. So you put the end on the back of it, pull it over one of the little snips you've made, and then you're just going to crisscross over and over, and it doesn't matter which bit you go to because it makes a lovely, lovely pattern, doesn't it, Evie? Shall we do it across there like that? And as you can see, it's making a really nice pattern, and you should have enough to completely cover it like this one. So once you've wound all your crisscrossed all your wool around, you can just tuck the end underneath and that'll hold it securely. And I quite like the brown side showing through because that's more sort of like a nice brown egg. Then you need to get your glue stick, and some eyes have got sticky backs, but this one hasn't. So you just need to put a little bit of glue on your eye. The eyes are coming in all shapes and sizes, so your eyes might be slightly smaller than these ones. So this My Cheeky Chick's got very big eyes. You need to put your feathers, you're just going to tuck them in the back there, like that. So that gives him a couple of wings. There we go. And then all his eyes have fallen off, I need a bit more glue. And then his beak, you've got a little red beak, just needs to go in the middle. Let's put a bit more glue on those eyes. Press them down firmly. There we go. And then of course we've got to do his legs. So you should have a pipe cleaner. You just need to bend it roughly in half, and then you're going to put it through the back of the wool, just so that it holds it like that. It's very easy, isn't it? And then you just can make some little feet, and it's up to you. You can have a go at making 3 prongs for feet. I've just done a couple of little chubby little legs like that with little feet on the end. So there you have your Cheeky Chick, and it'd be really nice to give him a name and make him a little nest. You can get some wool or some hay from out the field or some grass and have him sitting in. Right then, so in the next envelope you're going to find a cross with a little hole in the top, and a few flowers and a couple of butterflies and a verse. Now the cross was a symbol. It was an instrument that the Romans used for killing slaves and Jewish people. And you think, why have we given you such a horrible symbol? Well, the cross for Christians represents new life. Because Jesus died on this cross, it gives us hope that there is life to come after death. And to symbolise that, we're going to put lots and lots of beautiful flowers, because from something that looks dead, there's going to be new life. So with your flowers, I want you to decorate your cross and put some really bright colours on to show that Jesus rose from the dead and he conquered death. And there's a lovely butterfly, another symbol that there's hope in new life. Something that looks dead comes to life. The actual stickers, they do peel off, but if you find it easy, you can put a little bit of glue on, couldn't we, Dexter? So when you've stuck on all your flowers and butterflies, you've got a verse that comes from the Bible which says, "For God so loved us, he so loved his whole world, that he gave his son to die on the cross, that whoever believes in him would not perish but have everlasting life." And that's a great promise. So that would be lovely to either hang on your door, you could hang it in your window, but it's a reminder of what Easter is all about. So you've got a nice piece of yellow string. Oh, Dexter's busy eating the flowers. Not a good idea, Dex. There we go. And there's one.
We're going to end our video this morning by singing a song together that is that Bible verse that you found on the Easter Story Trail. So let's sing together, "For God so loved the world."
For God so loved the world, he gave his only Son, and whoever believes in him shall not die but have eternal life.
so much for joining us for our family Easter experience. We hope you've learnt about the Easter story and you've had some fun along the way with the different activities you've looked at. And we hope you have a good rest of your Easter weekend. And we hope to see you again sometime soon. Bye for now.